welcome back to another tutorial by NovaPans Handpans. Today we're doing pattern number 14. So pattern 13, if you check that, was a new chord progression. It was basically this. And today we're going to develop that further. And I'm going to think how we're going to do that. Yeah, so we'll do that. So essentially what we're doing is we're fitting in a ninth note between each of those chords. And for any of you who are particularly acute with attentive to detail, I mean to say, you'll notice that I'm not necessarily playing those two notes of each chord immediately together. I'm doing the left hand, or the lower note, just ever so slightly before the right hand. And it's almost not obvious, and it's meant to be like that because, in a way, it's like when they play the harp, it creates a different effect. In a way, it allows you to distinguish those two notes that are being played. So people are reminded that those chords are in fact two notes played together, but also separately. So I'm going to notate that. Notice how I use my middle finger and thumb for the top. That's a matter of preference. Whatever you do, just don't hit your handpan notes too hard. If you're learning the handpan for the first time, make sure to check out our previous videos on learning the handpan, such as the touch technique. You just don't want to be hitting your handpan too hard. Of course, you want to be getting the best sound out of your handpan. There is a little technique involved, but it's easy to overcome. Just check out our video called the touch technique. So, let's get on with this. 5 lines. Okay. They're supposed to be equidistanced apart. Like that. And then you've got the percussion clef and the time signature, which we explained in previous tutorials what that means. So it essentially means it's 4 beats in a bar, and this clef means that it's this particular type of, it's a percussion instrument, okay? The notes that you see here aren't strictly pitch related. In other words, if you give this to someone who plays the violin or even a guitar, the notes won't be the same. But that doesn't mean you can't play with them, okay? It just means on the handpan we're reading, at least in this notation, simplified handpan notation, we're reading it differently. So we're starting with 5 and 7 on the left, followed by 3 and 5 on the right. Sorry, that's wrong. 5 and 7 on the left, 4 and 6 on the right, 3 and 5 on the left. So I remember in the previous tutorials I gave each of those a minimum length. So 5 and 7, 5, 7. Right, I'll draw them like that for now. The minimum, 5 and 7, 4 and 6, 4's here, we know. 6 is here. Start a new bar, 2 beats each, and then we end on 3 and 5. And that's a semi-breve. 3 and 5, 3, 5. Okay? Put the repeat marks. And there you have it. That is, essentially that's pattern 13. What we're doing is we're sticking a 9 in between. I believe we're doing it on the beat, on the second beat. Here we are. And I'm only doing it in the first bar. So what I'm doing is, I'm putting a 9 up here. So these are becoming 1 beat notes, crotchets. The 9 is introduced, also another crotchet. Same with the next 4 and 6 chord, and the 9 there as well. And that is pattern number 14 in notation. Now, of course, we're playing these chords slightly not arpeggiated, but they're not played at the same time. Now, I never played a chord or instrument, so I never learnt the technical way of writing how to play the chord in a way broken. And I'm sure it's just a little squiggle, and it would be really good to know that. But by the time I provide this sheet music on the website, it'll be there. It'll be a slight notation added to what you see here for both this note, 3 and 5, sorry, 5 and 7, and 4 and 6. That implies that you don't necessarily play them strictly together, directly together, but in fact, you play the left one first. And also for this note, this chord, 3 and 5. So there you have it, that is pattern number 14. It helps some of you to play it slowly, so let me just do that for you. To see the next evolution of this pattern, check out the next pattern video, pattern 15. Thank you for tuning in. See you then. Bye-bye.